The Borno State Governor, Professor BabaganaZulum, knows where the shoe pinches as far as Boko Haram insurgency is concerned. So, when he raised an alarm, it's better be taken seriously. Professor Zulum has warned that Boko Haram insurgency is threatening to consume Nigeria if the humanitarian crisis in the northeast is not contained. The governor noted that the continuous existence of IDP camps in local government areas of the state is a potential time bomb as they serve as recruitment ground for Boko Haram and ISWAP. Now, since this crisis started in 2009, we've had a situation whereby we have IDP camps littered all over the northeast. They come to feed them morning, afternoon, night. Young men, young ladies doing nothing. And Professor Zulum is saying that, look, this idleness might just lead to these guys, being recruited by this sect.
Yeah. It's very, 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 very right. It's happened before. We've seen Boko Haram infiltrate IDP camps in Borno State. It's not something new. And the alarm is good for us now that the military is degrading that sect. It's good for us that this alarm is coming now. We've had cases of drugs being sold in IDP camps. We've had cases of prostitution, very well pronounced. We've had cases of those...
Look at young ladies.
Yeah, very young. Giving birth. Because those who are even supposed to share the food they are supposed to consume, taking part of it away, in fact, the larger part of it, leaving them hungry and for them to go begging. These are not very nice indicators for those who are there. And that's why, for me, every time I hear that the governor has gone to a certain town to reestablish them there, ensure that the farmers return to the farm, gives them farm implements, makes money available, and then gives them food to last them for a period, I'm always very happy. Because the moment you don't take them away from where they are idle, it's a common saying, the idle land is the devil's workshop. That's what is going to happen. Somebody who is hungry can do anything at any point in time. That's why some time ago, even the one that was brought out from the den of Boko Haram says, please, let me return to my husband. I prefer life out there. Because obviously, they get to eat. They get to do so many things there. So the governor has given us a hint now. What the federal government needs to do is to step in. We should not just leave it at the level of aid coming from the UN, coming from the Food and Agriculture Organization. There should be something deliberate.
There's peace.
Yes,
so that people can go back
to their homeland.
Start farming, start doing their
businesses. Be able to do their businesses, because that's key. Without that, and you are still putting them in one place where they don't have access to quality food, quality healthcare, education, then it's still a breeding ground for would-be terrorists.
So again, this is like a keg of gunpowder waiting to explode.
It is. The situation in the northeast is terrible, to say the least. At the point we have over 3.5 million Nigerians in IDP camps. This is not a country in war or under war, quote unquote, because you see IDP camps in many countries of the world. So we are like what is happening between Hamas and Israel now. You see a lot of them going to IDP camps, going to schools where they can be protected, hospitals and the rest of them, although some of them are still being killed and bombed. But this is a problem that we ordinarily will be able to solve. Now, according to the governor, we presently have over 1 million people still in ID camp in the northeast alone. We are not talking, because when you say IDP camps, it's not only in the northeast. The IDP camps, even in those states, in some states, There are.
Benue.
Nasarawa.
All over.
You know, Nasarawa, Zamfara. Sokoto.
Everywhere.
That is just one point. We're already having the issue of the Amajeri, which is a problem in Eastern. If you've been to the north and see the problem that the Amajeri system is causing, you know that this is a fertile ground for any terrorist to be able to. Because you see these students just wake up in the morning and carry plates and moving around, asking for arms and asking for food. These are young minds. And anybody can be able to play on their minds and be able to recruit. So what the governor is saying is absolutely true. But the question you ask yourself is, if you say you are going to dismantle the IDP camps, is their home safe? Is their villages safe? Is most of their towns safe? Because there have been instances where some of them were asked to go back to their villages, and they were attacked and killed. And that in itself becomes a problem. So it's a multifaceted issue that both the federal government and the state government should be able to look at. And you come to realize that I was in Bama. I was in Bama in Borno State about 3 years ago, as part of some editors that were put together by the Nigerian Army to go and look at some of the IDP camps. What I saw in Borno was I couldn't believe it. Even those of us as journalists, maybe we came down to the bus. If you see how the children and the women and everything rushed or thinking that we came with palliatives and food. And you could see how they were staying. Now, you are talking about prostitution. Most of them, women are engaging in prostitution there because they don't have any means of surviving. So they believe in doing that, they can be able to get certain things. The men, they practically have nothing to do. What would they do in the night? That are going around and doing what they are not to do. So it is a problem, and the population growth is going by the day. If you see the number of pregnant women that I saw at the camp, AY, if you saw the number of pregnant women I saw at the camp, I was shocked. So it is a big problem, and most importantly, just as the governor said, it is now a breeding ground for Boko Haram, ISWAP, to be able to recruit these students. Some of them, they just pay them in, they give them some of them, they give them dollars. From what I heard, they give them $20, $30. For an average man, they have not seen 10,000 naira in a month. And somebody decides to give you $20 and whatever to recruit. And then they're also using them as informants. Boko Haram and ISWAP are using most of these children as informants because you come to ask yourself, how come that a military convoy is moving? How did Boko Haram get to know that a military convoy is moving? How did they know that the police are moving and the rest of them? So I think it's something we should take up. The governor is doing his best because even if you go to Borno State, despite the challenges, security challenges that Borno State is having, the level of development in Borno State, you cannot compare it to some of the states that even don't have any security challenges. It's so amazing. So the federal government should be able to put hands together and be able to see. Good enough, we have new chief of defense chiefs and the rest of them, and they have been meeting. And we have to be able to make sure that the issue of the ID camp is solved once and for all, or else then we are running a big problem because these students in the next few months and years will become what we cannot be able to contain.
Since this has been identified, and poverty is a major player here, so the terrorists, the recruits are people, they pay them. The recruits are young men, young women, they pay them, and then their lot is not even better. In that camp, they don't feel secure because they are shortchanged by people that are meant to be serving.
There is so much money in terrorism. That's what we have discovered. Because if there isn't money, you can't fund that kind of campaign with those kind of caliber of weapons that we see. You can't. It means there is so much money. If you recollect, there was an attack on my Mali barracks in Maiduguri, and they said during that attack there were even videos of these people sharing dollar to those who came to carry out the attack. There were videos showing it, meaning that they are empowered. And with a country like ours where we have shortage of security personnel in the sense of this ongoing campaign against the terrorists, Because if we're at war, we may not necessarily need so much more than we have now. And then with the economy not looking up, which is the reason a lot of money is going into security.
Wow.
Then government must do something quickly. Quickly. Because it's a time bomb, like the governor said. If we don't engage these youths, especially, even the old ones, sometimes when my children come to me during holiday, after staying home for a few days, and they say they are bored, I will ask them, but you have TV to watch. You have something to play with. They say they are bored. So you can now imagine somebody you have kept in a... You can now imagine somebody you have kept in a place for months just to wake up, go to one place, spread out a plate, collect food, go and eat, sleep, wake up, go the same routine. You know, for a very long time, and then he sees freedom to go and do something, that person will take it. That person will take it. That's why we must be very, very careful.
Yes, and this is where a ministry like Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs come to play. I know that most often than not, we'll be talking about this issue of palliatives or no palliatives. There are places we need to channel these palliatives to. There are more that we need them the most. The IDP camps should be, for me, one of the major priorities for us.
You are right.
I'm telling you, it should be.
Right.
We are voting, we're talking about giving people 50,000, giving them 100,000, Some of these people are not the challenges we are facing. And I'm telling you for free. Those are not the challenges. An average man can be able to find his way around. But for somebody that is like that, for people that are very vulnerable, especially those in the IDP camp, it's a big problem. Because you cannot be able to tell somebody that have not been fed for about 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, and you see the opportunity and you will not seize it. So I am using this opportunity to call on the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Mrs. Edu, to be able to look at this, to be able to look at this area. I think that is part of why that ministry was created. And standing alone. It wasn't like this before. Let us channel most of it. I should see some kind of connect between that ministry now and the governor of Borno State and even other governors in the northeast and the northwest, where most of these IDP camps are located.
Yeah.